If you struggle with knowing where to put embellishments on your cards, today's video is for you. I'm going to share my best tips and possibly my #1 approach to placing embellishments. Stick around, the video is coming up next. Before I share some cards, let's just look at an imaginary card with a piece of artwork and a greeting and some embellishments. For this example, I'm just going to go with black and white. And one of the things I like to do when I'm placing embellishments, whether they are sequins, confetti-style sequins, pearls, larger gems, or other types of things that you can put onto your card, I like to think in odd numbers. And oftentimes what I will do is I will go for, I will just throw them off to the side. And oftentimes what I will do is pick up a large one, pick up a medium-sized one, it's not wanting to pick up, and pick up a small one. And that is where I will usually begin. Now, if I have a large image, I might put it right onto the image itself, and then I will continue at the top of the image like this. So we have 5 altogether. 5 is an odd number, and it's a pleasing number in design. Now, you could do a line that is straight like that goes right across the image. That's kind of cool. It kind of creates line, and that is a principle in design where our brains are going to fill in the gaps because we see this as a continuing line. Or you can mix it up a little and put your embellishments more at a placement such as that, where they are not lined up, but we are still creating this connection to whatever the greeting is on top of the artwork. That's one way you can think about it. You can also take another embellishment and place these, well, let me get a bigger one here, and place these at sort of a, it's not a mirror image, but this is called reflected symmetry, where we have 2 gatherings of 3. So we have the 3, the odd numbers here, but there are 2, and they're basically reflecting each other in the way they are placed down, but it's not perfectly symmetrical. It's a reflected symmetry. And that's another way you can place embellishments down. The 2 things both of these have in common, they create a very unified and connected look to the artwork on this particular sample. Now, I realize not every card is going to look like this, right? That's for sure. And another thing that I will do is I will also have my pieces off of the artwork. Okay. And again, you could go in a nice straight line here. So you're sort of creating this illusion of a line that is breaking up with the art and the greeting. But still, the placement of these has a direct visual connection to the artwork on the card. Again, you can stagger it, right? You can have it like that. You can also come up here and do that reflected symmetry again. Now, let's get these guys up here. Get you up there. You can do something like that as well. And that way, well, let's flip you the right way. And that way, again, you have this element repeated top to bottom, and it ties things together. The other thing that's happening right now is because this is all black and white, I'm actually kind of digging this vibe, the colors you choose do matter. Oftentimes, I will use clear or silver embellishments because they are more of a shine add than anything, but where they are placed still matters. As we are looking at this too, I just want to show you what happens perhaps when you place things a little more randomly on your piece. And what happens here, and this is a brain thing, when our brains look at anything, we are looking for the cues, the visual connections, the things that tell our brains, oh, these things all go together. And if you're just randomly sort of, well, that's not even going to flip over now, but if you're just randomly placing the embellishments, it feels disorganized. It feels a little chaotic to our brains. And so that is why when I'm placing embellishments, I am always trying to find ways to bring order. Come here. It's not going to flip correctly, but I'm always looking for ways to bring order to the chaos. Now, the reason I say that, it sounds so dramatic, right? But here's the thing, from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed, especially in the age of social media, you are bombarded with visual information every single day. You have to quickly look at something and figure out what you are looking at, what's going on, and the idea of something that's well designed, it is inviting you in, it's providing a moment of calm. It feels good to look at it, and that in turn feels good to your brain. So, I'm going to proceed with showing you a bunch of cards. I will source the videos that I have for those cards if you want to see how they were made. But this video is really about looking at the embellishments and explaining why they work, where they are placed. For the first card, this is very similar to what I set up and showed you in the intro. We have a card where there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I decided to put one of the embellishments right onto the artwork because I thought it made a better connection. And these are creating that sort of visual link all the way through. One of the things this card has, it has gold embossing on these panels. So I chose a gold embellishment. This is actually a matte pearl color, a gold pearl. But again, these have a direct physical connection to this flower. Why didn't I just stick them on here? I could have. These two could have gone here as well, but I decided to use a little bit of my panel space for the embellishments to be here and just have one here. I wanted the artwork to shine a little bit more and not cover up the rose itself, and that's why I decided to place my embellishments like this. What about a card like this, where we have little shiny bats, but we also have little gold pearls going all the way up inside the bat pattern? Well, that's another thing you can do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pearls. So I purposefully put down an odd number just to create that sort of rhythm. But there's a whole bunch coming up here. Of course, I wanted to create a little visual link with the gold cardstock that I used for the greeting. And here it made perfect sense to follow this stamped image, which goes all the way up with those bats, and those were just embossed. So it's another way you can take them and create a trail. It does have a connection to the greeting itself. You know, it comes right in here and makes a curve and keeps on going up. So in this regard, this all feels like it belongs together, even though it spreads out across the whole panel. For this card, I didn't vary the size of the embellishments. I just decided to have 5 coming right in through the core of the artwork on this design. And again, I chose gold, so there would be a nice little connection to the gold embossing. Also, I tend to lean towards gold embellishments when I am using ink colors that are on the warmer side of the rainbow. That is not technically a rule, it's just a guide because I like to do warm with warm and cool with cool. And by cool, I mean the greens, blues, and purples, and then the silvers and more of the clear type of embellishments. Here's another card, and this has colored gems that tie in with the theme color of this design. So I actually created this as a grad card to tie into school colors. And then I thought, well, this is where having a nice colored gem would be appropriate. But again, notice how this creates that visual line. And these trail down, and we are connecting visually in our brains everything together. And if I would have put a few gems up here a little more randomly, it just would not have felt as unified. Here's another card with that 5 number surrounding the greeting. Again, this is probably my most go-to type of formula for embellishment placement. I take 1 large, I take 2 medium, and I take 2 small, split them and position them around the greeting and consider the artwork that I have at the time so that it is all going to feel very unified and together. If there is one thing to take away from today's video, it is to make sure you have some sort of a physical connection to either your greeting or the artwork or both with the placement of your embellishments. This is not a hard and fast rule, it's just the rule that guides me so often when I am placing my embellishments onto my cards. Another area that you can consider as embellishments is when you have small little artwork pieces that basically serve as embellishments. Here I have 3 little graduation hats going up the diagonal, and I also have placed in 5 silvery, actually these are more of like an iridescent sequin, kind of mixed into that stream going up. So these little guys and any little stamped images can also be used in an embellishment way. And again, when you place them down, make sure there is a connection to whatever the greeting is or the artwork itself. Here's an example with no actual sequins or pearls, but up here, 3 small stamped images, a lovely odd number, can serve as the embellishment for this card. And of course, they all have a nice connection to the artwork at the top of the design. Do your embellishments always have to come in odd numbers? No, the rules are there and then you break them. For example, I wanted to put a little embellishment, these little silver confetti style sequins in the center of each snowflake that was visible, and that came out to be 6. So here it really is just part of a textural element to add a little shine to the card. Again, odd numbers are great, but you can use even numbers too. Time and again, I go back to the same approach. The 5, 1 big, 2 medium, and 2 small. I promise that if you try this on your next card design, you're going to have a little more confidence just placing those down in a place that makes perfect sense to tie into your greeting and complement your artwork. I tend to use a lot of gold, silver, or black pearls. I just really like the dimension. Oftentimes, I love how it can create a connection to, on this card, for example, a little shiny gold spatter and a gold cardstock greeting. And again, we're finding places on the actual card mat panel here that the embellishments can land on, complement the design, and create a nice connected visual. I hope this video is helpful for you the next time you sit down to embellish your beautiful handmade cards. If you're interested in learning more about greeting placement, I will pop a little video right up here that I recently did that talks about my approach to placing greetings on your handmade cards. Again, I'll share any link I can to the videos I've shared today if you'd like to see more about the process of how these cards were made. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.